Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Tell Me What Happens, BingeMedia.net's spoilerific show where Alex doesn't want to see the movie. I see the movie. I tell him what happens. He decides whether or not he wants to see this movie. I'm basically your movie slave, is what I come to understand about this show. I'm a movie slave.
That's right. I think this is. We've been podcasting for a while. We've been
38 years.
38 years, creative partners for 38 years. And I think this is the best dynamic that we've had. You just being my movie slave. Just tell me what happens.
So we're here for another spoilerific. Just tell me what happens for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
That's right.
Now, Alex, I don't really know where you stand on the Mission Impossible movies, and we're going to get to that.
Okay.
They're a big deal in my house. Specifically just for TJ. He binge watched, before we went to see Fallout, he watched all 5 Mission Impossible movies in a row to get up. So it's like I can't even say he grew up on them because he just watched them all in one day. Then we went to see Dead Reckoning a couple of years ago, and we were kind of disappointed. And then we went to see this one this past weekend with Jess, my wife. She's always been a big Tom Cruise fan, so it's a big deal. It's a big deal in this house every time one of these movies comes out, more so than like James Bond or all these other big action franchises, Furious, or all that shit. This is our action franchise. Now, where do you stand before this movie comes out?
Well, again, my wife is also a big fan of Tom Cruise, so that's an easy pull for her, to watch. She's pretty picky. She loves James Bond. Yeah. She loves the Bond movies, grew up watching it with her dad. She also loves Mission Impossible, the TV show, and then, all the early ones. We had a conversation yesterday when we rewatched Dead Reckoning.
Oh, shit. Yes.
And she's watched every single one of them. She likes some more than others, but I think for the most part, she kind of just sees them all as like the same movie in a lot of ways, like an old serial kind of thing.
I see that.
But I really enjoy these movies. When you said that TJ watched all 5 or the first 5 or 6 of them before fall, like what a roller coaster of directing styles, right? Especially like those first 3 or 4 of them.
The first 3, particularly really wild.
But I really enjoy these movies for the most part.
Yeah. Is there any you dislike? Like you don't want to watch them again?
I don't know if there's ever a need to watch Dead Reckoning again. I'll tell you that. My God, what a stupid movie. Look, the tech is always going to get you. The stunts are always going to get you. The directing is always going to get you. Like McQuarrie he's such a great director. I don't know if he directed that.
He did. Yep.
He did. Oh, okay. I didn't know if he just wrote it. But yeah, I mean, technically these movies are really great, but Dead Reckoning really fell apart with the villain and the AI and the entity. It seemed like a lot of the main characters were even confused about what was going on. Which was great. But I look, I'm not coming into the Final Reckoning. Just tell me what happens with great feelings about the last movie. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough,
Which obviously is why you didn't go see this in the theater, right? Like you weren't pumped about it.
Yeah, not super pumped.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like you.
Thank you. I like you too.
Like you.
Oh,
was not impressed with Dead Reckoning, and this was my hope going into this movie. And I even we talked about it, me and TJ and Jess. I said I hated the fucking plot for the last movie so much. The entity and Gabriel, I wanted them to I wanted McQuarrie to be okay, this didn't do that well. As far as the Mission Impossible movie went, this didn't do that well. Let's wrap this shit up in the first 15 minutes. And
why not?
Then some shit happens.
Yep.
Well, we're going to find out if that happened.
Oh, boy.
We're going to find out if that is what happened, because I'm going to break this down for you right now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning came out May 23rd, 2025. It's not very long ago.
No.
It is the 8th and supposed last Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise, I guess, right? Like, he doesn't own Mission Impossible, so who knows if they reboot it with somebody else in the future.
Sure. Did it feel like, I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but it is a spoiler show. Did it feel like an ending to a series or a franchise?
Nope. Not at all. As we said, directed by Christopher McQuarrie. Now, this is the 4th Mission Impossible film that he has directed. Mm-hmm. This is the 8th Tom Cruise movie he's directed in a row.
Holy shit. Damn.
I don't know if this guy's working, and I'm not saying he's a horrible director, but please, this guy fucking wrote The Usual Suspects. He is a talented man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know if he's working this much without Tom Cruise. Like, they're fucking besties, man. I had no idea. 8 Tom Cruise movies in a row. Oh, okay. I'll get back to the Usual Suspects thing, because that blew me away when I found that out, that he wrote Usual Suspects. IMDb 7.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, critics 80% fresh, fans 89% fresh.
For Final Reckoning.
Okay. $400 million budget. Box office this past weekend. That's all we have, really. 64 million opening. Got its ass handed to it by Lilo and Stitch, by the way, by almost $100 million. It got beat by.
Damn.
Worldwide, $213 million so far. That's only one weekend. I'm sure it's going to make its money back. All right, are you ready to find out what happens in the final reckoning?
The final reckoning. There'll never, ever be another Mission Impossible film in the franchise. I'm a little
scared. You scared?
A little scared. I'm a little scared, but I'm very excited to hear about this final reckoning. Let's do it.
Hey guys, it's your pal Alex, and I want to tell you about our friends over at ParkSense.com. Go there and use the code BINGE20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. If you like the Disney or Universal parks and want to bring some of the sensory magic back home, go to ParkSense.com and pick out your favorite candle, room spray, or wax melt. The best thing about ParkSense.com is the variety of scents that bring you right back to the park. The extraterrestrial adventure candle will remind you of Universal's ET ride, and the Wizard Beer's butterscotch scent will transport you to the Hogwarts Express right from your living room. So go to ParkSense.com, stock up on some fantastic smells, and use the code BINGE20 at checkout for 20% off your order. Thank you to ParkSense.com, and now back to the show.
Let's do it, boss.
All right. Okay, I'm so glad you watched Dead Reckoning, because it stops me from, rehashing a bunch of shit that happens at the end. All you got to know is that Tom Cruise has got the key.
Okay.
The key opens something, but no one fucking seems to know what it opens. For the love of God, everyone in the movie doesn't know what it opens. All right. This starts 2 months after the last movie. Mm-hmm. Tom's just been, Ethan, let's call him Ethan. Ethan's been sitting on this key. So he doesn't know what the fuck. He doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't know where to go with it. Gabriel, he wants the key back, right? He needs the key back. Luther's Luther's sick. He's like, they got him in a hospital bed, and he's been working on some shit. Tom and what's Haley Atwell's character's name? Grace.
Yep, Grace.
They're looking for Gabriel, because they need to find out where it goes, because he's the only guy, right? Remember at the end of that Dead Reckoning, he's the only guy that knows where the key goes.
Right.
So they're looking for him. He ends up finding Luther in their little bunker that they have. I believe it's in Paris or something. I don't know where they are. Mm-hmm. Pete, where are they? I don't know. And plants a bomb. Okay. He plants a bomb next to Luther. He locks him into this cage. Luther has been working on this kind of a kill switch, little flash drive that you would need to insert into the Podkova, which is the module that this key opens. Okay. That is, if you remember the end of Dead Reckoning, they show the submarine.
Right.
Alluding to this is what the key opens. And that is what the key opens.
Right.
The module is at the bottom of the ocean after the beginning of the first movie, where you see that submarine kill itself.
Mm-hmm.
So Luther has made a little flash drive kill switch that if you plug it into the module, this is going to help you stop the entity from taking over the world. Mm-hmm. Now, what the entity has been, threatening to do is take over all technology on the planet and rid the world of the human race. It's doing this by it's starting to take over all the nuclear codes for all the countries that have nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And Luther, so Luther has built this thing. While Tom and Grace are out doing something, I can't remember what it is, Gabriel finds Luther. He sets up a bomb. He steals the kill switch. Now Gabriel doesn't have the key, but he has the kill switch, which he wears around his neck in a little flash drive throughout the whole movie. So you know that he has it at all times. Tom runs back to Luther. He finds out that Gabriel found him or whatever. And he can't get in. He's locked out of this cage. Luther's in there with the bomb. Luther tells Tom, I'm not going to be able to stop this. I'm only going to be able to do kind of a local if I do this local detonation, it won't take out all of Paris. It won't destroy the whole city. If I can just detonate this local bomb that's built inside of it or whatever. Big, long fucking, oh my God, don't do it. Oh my God, don't. I love you. I love you. Mm-hmm. Da, da, da. Luther's got all the words of wisdom, that are in Tom's head throughout the movie. Anyways, Tom starts running. Everyone loves when Tom runs, when Ethan runs. So he's like, all right, Luther, I got to go. Peace. I'm out. Takes off. While he's running, bomb explodes. Luther dies. First 15 minutes of the movie. He's out.
Copy that. All right.
I didn't like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I just wish you would have went out a little cooler. That's all I'm saying.
Dead.
So then Grace and Ethan, they kind of let themselves get caught by the U.S. government, and the U.S. government brings them in, and he's got a face-to-face with the president right there. And he's got this plan of what he's got to do, right? He knows exactly what he has to do. He has to go to the submarine. He has to get the module. He has to get Gabriel. He has to get the kill switch, put it in the kill switch, because what he's figured out is that the entity, if it does what it's going to do, if it destroys all civilization with nuclear bombs, it's going to kill itself. There's going to be no technology left on the planet, right?
True.
So it needs to get into an undercover bunker. Pete, please tell me where that undercover bunker is, because I can't remember. It's an undercover digital kind of, not cloud, but kind of just like digital, I don't know, safe house that it would be safe in underground from all the shit that's going on above the earth with all the nuclear weapons and all that. And then it can, it can hibernate in there. And when everything's cleared out, it can come back and just take over the world and let all technology take over the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow Tom's figured this out, and he's going to kill it with the kill switch. And another piece of technology I'll talk about in a little bit that Luther made that we had no idea about, that doesn't come up till later in the movie. So the president, everyone that advises the president's like, no, don't let him do this. It's crazy. He wants an aircraft carrier. He wants jets. He wants all this shit just at his disposal. He's never portrayed more. It's in South Africa, that digital warehouse or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He's never more been presented as a messiah than he has in this movie. He is the savior of the human race in this film. Everything relies on Ethan. The president acts like there's no way he's getting this shit, right? And just to calm down her advisor, she's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But when he leaves, he finds out, yeah, he's got everything he wants. He gets his aircraft carrier. He gets access to this submarine, this very, very top secret submarine that's going to take him to the place where the Russian submarine crashed, because that's where he's got to go to get the module. To find that place, we've got all the other characters like Benji and Grace and the Asian chick from Mantis from Guardians. The Asian chick from the last movie that you thought died at the end. No, she's now on the IMF team with them.
Love that. Does she get the choice? Does she talk to fucking Kittredge? Remember, there was such a big thing with Grace going like, yeah, and then you got to tell him you have a choice for me and I'll take the choice or whatever.
I feel
it was very silly.
Her name is Paris, also in Paris. This is confusing already, Peter. I feel like, I don't know. I can't remember if there was that scene. If I'm gonna give you a choice or something like that. Anyway, she just shows up. Also, remember the black cop that was with Brother Eli?
Yes. The young guy.
He's on their team now too. This is their
awesome.
team. Benji,
right.
Benji, Grace, Mantis, and Black Guy Cop. They're gonna go to like Alaska because there is a nautical kind of radar base there where they track all the submarines and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
And they're going to find out the exact position of the submarine. They're going to Morse code that shit to the super secret submarine that Ethan's on, thus leading them right to that submarine. Ethan's going to jump off that sub, go down to the other sub, use the key, get the module. He's going to come back up because he has a tracker on him. This is my favorite part. He has a tracker on him that the team in Alaska is going to figure out where he is by his tracker, have a decompression chamber set up for him so that if he dies, when they pull him out of the ice, they'll be able to save his life because they'll pinpoint exactly where he is because he has a tracker on him.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
That's the plan. So he gets on to the super secret sub, gets in his underwear. There's like fucking 25 minutes of him in his underwear. Really nice. Black, short, tight underwear. Pete was probably loving this scene.
Yeah, yep.
There's like he's training. It's like a fucking montage scene, but not cool montage. It's just kind of like him talk. They fucking talk. Oh my God. They talk so much in this movie about what they're going to do. There's so much shit.
They did that in Dead Reckoning too.
Oh my God. The like first hour of this movie is so much talking. Someone on the sub doesn't want him to do this shit, right? Like I can't remember if he's the entity has taken on kind of like a cult-like status in the world where people are like throwing everything they have behind the entity because remember like Independence Day, the people that fucking were welcoming the aliens?
Yeah, totally.
That's what these people are. And they're all like team entity and everything. I think this guy is kind of involved in that shit or whatever. He tries to kill Tom. Big fight ensues in his underwear. Tom fucking takes him out. Milchuk from Severance is the captain of this submarine. Big fucking applause for him when he showed up. Everyone loves
really?
Severance. Yeah. There's like three people. There was just us three in the audience. We all clapped.
Huge applause.
Yeah.
It was by us.
So they kill that guy. In Alaska, the team finds out that the guy heading the team in Alaska, the nautical radar fucking sonar fucking whatever the fuck, he's a familiar face to this franchise. We find out that this guy is the CIA agent at Langley that walks in after Ethan does the most famous heist stunt in the franchise when he goes down on the wire and goes into the Langley computer and steals the list of all the blacklisted agents. Remember that? Or whatever all the IMF agents.
Yep.
And then the knife falls out, lands on the desk. This is the guy that walks in at the very end and looks at that knife.
Okay.
We find out that he got fucking demoted because of that shit. Because Ethan got into his office, stole his shit. He gets demoted. It's the same actor. Fucking, this is my favorite part of the movie. I love this callback, dude. This is such a great callback. Not the only callback, by the way. The module was created from something called the Rabbit's Foot, in which Ethan in Mission Impossible 3 had to steal to save his wife's life for Philip Seymour Hoffman. Nobody ever knew. They never talk about what the Rabbit's Foot was in that movie. So I think that's kind of a brilliant little piece of writing right there.
Okay.
There's no way they couldn't have had this plan since Mission Impossible 3. So they kind of went through them and were like, we never said what the fuck this is. So why don't we just say it's the creation of this module? So, if you backtrack, Ethan is responsible for the entity. He stole the shit that they needed to make it reality back in the third movie. Really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I love these references to the other movies.
Yeah.
What I don't love is being pushed down my throat. Now I skipped over this a little bit, but at the beginning, when all the U.S. Higher ups around the president are talking about Ethan, we get full blown montage flashbacks from everything he's ever done in every movie, which is a really weird addition.
That shit's so tedious when they do that, man.
They're like 2 minutes long, Alex. Of all these scenes,
cheesy score in the background.
Yep, every bad guy, every fucking character. Like Emilio Estevez shows up in this fucking montage. Every character that's ever fucking worked with him, because somebody will say like all the people that have worked with you and died, and then you get to see like Emilio Estevez fucking get killed in the elevator. Like all these flashbacks is really, really weird. And another thing that really bothers me about these scenes, all these top military officials talking, and this is what surprised me. I said I was going to go back to McQuarrie writing The Usual Suspects. It feels like he really struggles with dialogue in this movie. And I think in an interview, he even came out and said he kind of like, dialogue hurts these movies. He just kind of wants to have these big action things. And if that's the kind of director he's turned into, that's fine. Tom Cruise is your best friend. You got a big future ahead of you. Mm-hmm. But all these military guys are talking, and they do that thing. And I know you're going to know what I'm talking about, but one person will start a sentence, and then they edit to the next person, and he continues that sentence.
Sure, yeah.
And then they edit to the next person, and she's got the fucking rest of the sentence. Mm-hmm. And everybody's talking in order. Nobody's talking over each other. At one point, Jess audibly was like, "Oh my God." Like, it's so unbelievably cheesy.
Yeah.
They do it like a handful of times in this film. Yeah, really, 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 really weird. All right, where are we? Tom's going to go to this Russian. The secret sub that he's on starts getting chased by a Russian sub. The team in Alaska get infiltrated by a Russian team because the Russians want this fucking module too. They want the key.
Yeah.
And a big fucking gunfight breaks out there. Everybody's fucking going up. Benji's fighting. Grace is fighting. Mantis is fighting. They're looking for the file that has the coordinates of this Russian sub for Tom Cruise. But the secret is that this CIA agent from Langley, he's always got it embedded in his brain. He's memorized it from the day it happened. For some reason, he's memorized the coordinates in his head. So he's been tricking the Russians. He didn't want to give it up. So once Grace and them and Benji kind of get the upper hand or whatever, he grabs the fucking walkie. He does the SOS finally to the secret sub. They get the coordinates, but now they're being chased by a Russian sub. So they can't stop. They can't stop where the Russian sub or the exploded sub is, because the Russians will know where it is. So Tom's got to jump out of the submarine while it's kind of moving. And he almost gets hit by the sub chasing them. That's the whole thing.
Come on.
No, it's fucking great. And then this is my favorite part of the movie, is when he has to go into the sub to get the module. Huge set piece, right? Rolling submarines it's on the edge of a cliff in the ocean, right? So as soon as you see it, like I think I audibly said, like, gee, I wonder if that's going to fall off. It's going to fall off at some point. So he's in the sub, and shit starts banging around, right? And then the sub starts fucking rolling down this thing. So he's inside the sub while it's rolling, and he's wearing this giant fucking underwater suit. And he's trying to fucking navigate all these nuclear missiles that are fucking falling in the water. And he's got to get to this fucking module. He finally gets to the module, but he can't get out. He's got to go through a fucking missile, I don't know, the launching fucking hole that it comes out of. I don't know what they're called. He's got to go through one of them. Sure. He's got to go through that to get out of the sub.
Is the Benny Hill theme playing the entire time? I don't want to down. This is by far my favorite part of the movie. I don't want to downplay this. This is my favorite action scene of the film. He finally gets out. But when he did getting out, he couldn't fit because of his suit. He's back in his underwear. He's all greased up. He's going through this fucking missile hole. He gets out just at the end. But on the way up, he fucking dies because all his suit's gone. So he drowns to death. He dies. Just so happens Grace and the fucking Langley guy's fucking Eskimo wife have traveled on fucking
sled dogs all the way to the pinpoint to where Ethan is. They just happen to fucking find him just when he gets to the top. They break him out of the ice. They get him in the chamber that they've brought with them. Grace fucking saves his life.
The chamber that they brought with them. What is that on their fucking backs? Does it unfold?
It was. Yes, it does. All right. Torpedo tube. Thank you, Peter. All right. He's got the module. Well, he doesn't need the key anymore. Fucking keys. The key's old. The whole movie, the first movie was about the key. The key's fucking gone. You don't need the key anymore. He's got the module, but he needs the fucking kill switch. Gabriel's got the kill switch.
How did Gabriel end up with it?
He stole it from Luther when he found him in that fucking cage in Paris. When he killed Luther?
Yeah, when he killed him. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So now the plan is to go to the silo where Pete, help me out. Where is that again? South Africa. The silo in South Africa where the entity wants to kind of hibernate when it starts a nuclear war. Tom's like,
the AI needs to fucking hibernate. Okay.
Yeah. So Tom figures we need to get Gabriel, but I can guarantee you Gabriel's going to be there. He's going to be waiting for us because he needs the module. We need the kill switch, but he needs the module. So he's going to be there waiting for us. I guarantee it. So they go there. And it's completely deserted because everyone is scared about what the entity has been doing with all the nuclear weapons and everything. So everyone's deserted the place. There's nobody there except Gabriel, who has brought along another nuclear bomb with him, very similar to the fucking nuclear bomb that killed Luther.
Yeah, they're all just laying around. You can pick them up.
Yeah. So they stop Tom and his team. The whole team's there now with them. Even the Langley fucking CIA agent and his Eskimo wife. Everyone's there. Everyone's there. But Gabriel has captured them. And just before Tom gives over that module, Kittredge shows up with the fucking MIF people, the CIA people, and they start shooting at Gabriel. So now there's a big fucking shootout. Everyone's shooting everybody, right? And Tom and his team are kind of fucking scattered, and they're going every which way. And Benji gets shot, and he and Mantis and Grace go into the where all the computers are and where they need to fucking where they need to do something, and I'll tell you that in a second. Okay. Gabriel takes off, and Tom, he knows Tom's going to follow him, so Tom takes off. And one more thing before we start this. So Brother Eli?
Yes.
Another reference to former movies. Brother Eli turns out to be John Voight's son from the first movie.
Come on. Okay, so this is driving me a little nuts.
Okay, hold on.
It is driving me a little nuts.
So he's had a vendetta against Ethan this whole time because he thinks that John Voight was a good guy in the first movie and that Ethan set it all up for him to look like he was a traitor, right? So that's why he's had this fucking... You ever watch Brother Eli in these movies? Like, he fucking literally doesn't know. Like, he's like every fucking scene he's in, he's like, what the fuck? What?
I know. It was definitely like that in Dead Reckoning, and his hair is definitely out of control in these movies too. It's way too high. And as somebody who's like kind of short, I know your tricks, Brother Eli. I know your tricks.
Oh, all right. So here's the thing. Tom has this, before they set out to do this, Tom has another thing that Luther built. It's called a 5D drive. Now, here's what's going to happen. Tom's going to get the module, and he's going to get the kill switch from Gabriel. This is his plan. When he enters the kill switch to the module, there's going to be what's going to happen is the entity is going to insert itself into this giant bay of computers, right? And when it does that, this 5D drive, which they have now put into one of the computers, one of the motherboards, it's going to go into this 5D drive. For some reason, I don't know why. This is the only one that exists. Luther is the only guy that could build something like this. But it's only going to be in there for, 100 milliseconds. 100 milliseconds is going to be in there. So thank God they have the greatest pickpocket on the planet, Grace, with them. That's because she's going to have to, as soon as it lights up, she has 100 milliseconds to take this drive out. The entity will be caught in this drive forever. saving, the planet from its eventual takeover. That's the plan. Except Gabriel's now on a fucking biplane taking off, and Tom is fucking running on foot to catch him. He ends up getting on another biplane that is leaving with him. He fucking he kills that guy on that biplane. He jumps into the plane. Now, this is the big set piece in all the trailers that you see. We've seen multiple scenes of it in this video right here. And this kind of reminds me of the motorcycle jump from Dead Reckoning. All this hype about it. And in reality, the fact that Tom does these things is fucking incredible. I think they're overhyped for these type of movies. They just don't play that extreme for me in the film.
I didn't think so either with the motorcycle jump in Dead Reckoning, because you've seen it 30,000 times before you're watching the movie. So, and I get it. It's great promotional stuff for the movie. It gets people hyped up, but if you're excited about this movie and you go to watch other movies, Mission Impossible's one of the previews, or you're just seeing ads on TV or online, it's going to show that stunt, and it just takes it away. It just takes the punch of it away.
Absolutely. When but I think they rely on the behind the scenes of these stunts. Yeah. Like really heavy, right? Like to show you look how much it took for us to do this. And then you see it on screen, you're just kind of like, I don't know.
And then before the previews, they'll show like a 7-minute featurette of the construction of the ramp, him doing dry runs and all that stuff. And it just doesn't hit the same.
I know. By the way, before this is like a fucking 3-minute introduction from Tom Cruise, just profusely thanking you to come see his movie. It got real awkward. Real awkward. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for being here. I just want to thank you for supporting your local theater and seeing Mission Impossible the way it's supposed to be seen. It got weird. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It sounds weird.
All right. So now we got Tom in this in-flight battle with Gabriel. We got the people back at the fucking computers, right? Benji has been shot, so he would be the one. He's the tech nerd, right? He would be the one doing this, but he's been shot. Mantis has to literally do surgery on him. One of those put a pen in my fucking neck surgery.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Absolutely,
I love that. Yeah,
she's got to do that because his lungs collapsing, and then you got Langley, his Eskimo wife, and Black Cop are all out trying to defuse the fucking nuclear bomb that Gabriel left when he fucking took off. All this shit's happening at the same time. So now I don't want to say this is the exact same fucking ending as Fallout, but holy shit, is it ever close? You got Tom in a fucking battle in the air. You got everyone else waiting for that fucking last second for Tom to either flick a switch or do whatever the fuck he's got to do. And they're all like, oh, what do we do? Oh, you got to give him time. You got to give him time. It's the exact same fucking setup as Fallout. And it really, really bothers me.
Yeah.
Particularly because I fucking love Fallout. It might be my favorite Mission Impossible movie. The fact that McQuarrie directed and wrote that, and he's doing the exact same thing, really gets under my skin here. But Langley, Eskimo, black guy, they're going to cut these 3 wires at the same time. Yeah. When they cut these 3 wires, they got fucking 10 seconds to run into the fucking vault where Benji, Mantis, and Grace are, or it's going to explode. If they don't make it there in time, they're dead. So we got that going on. We got Grace, who has inserted the fucking 5D drive. Yep. And she's just sitting there staring at it like this because when the light turns green, I told you 100 milliseconds she has to pull that fucking thing off and trap the entity within it. Everyone's just fucking sitting there waiting. Tom fighting Gabriel to the death on this biplane. There he is. Right there. Look at him. Fucking just sucking cock midair. He's just
Jesus.
They're fighting. He's falling all over the wings. He's fucking hanging on for his life. Gabriel finally fucking says, fuck you, pulls his parachute, but gets caught in I don't know if he gets caught in a rudder or whatever, bangs his head on propeller, fucking breaks his skull open. Gabriel's finally dead.
Oh, in that way? Come on. Yeah. It really seems like they're just like, all right, let's wrap this up. I'm done writing these stupid movies, so much so that I'm going to go out and say, well, our whole format is with all these action scenes and we're not going to put anything into the script except for calling back to fucking movies that are 20 years old at this point. Whatever.
Kind of what he said. It's kind of what he said. Tom's taken, but he's got the kill switch. Before he left, he grabbed the kill switch off his neck, right? Tom fucking pulls his parachute because the biplane's going down at this point. Tom's parachute catches fire. Mm-hmm. As soon as he fucking opens it, it made me laugh. It made me laugh out loud in the theater. He starts falling. While he's fucking falling, he's trying to get the fucking module out and you get the fucking thing in. Grace is waiting for the fucking light to come on. The other three are cutting the fucking wires on the bomb. And all this shit happens at once. They cut the wires on the bomb. They run into the fucking thing. You don't know who's dead or who's alive. Tom fucking has a fucking another parachute, the backup parachute, pulls it, inserts a fucking drive, light comes on, fucking pickpocket of the year, fucking takes it off. Entity in the fucking 5D drive, save the world. Mission possible.
Mission possible, you say.
Tom survives because he had the backup thing.
Yep. Everybody's
fucking happy. Fucking John Voight's fucking son, brother Eli, walks up to Tom at the end. He's with Kittredge. Kittredge still hates fucking Ethan. He fucking hates him. But brother Eli walks up, fucking offers him a handshake, says he forgives him or whatever the fuck. They're best friends. They're buds.
They're best friends.
They do a bro shake. They don't even fucking shake hands. They do a bro shake. They bring it in and they're fucking like
the shug.
Fucking yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They fucking love each other. Everybody fucking saved. We get a nice long voiceover from Luther, just talking about the lives that they lead, you know,
shut up,
the shit that they do in the shadows so the people that they never meet can live their lives. Last scene of the film, Tom is walking on this fucking, I don't know, some sort of fucking, I don't know, fucking some misty city for some reason. This has also been done in the series too. This exact same ending. Grace is over fucking yonder. Benji's over yonder. I don't know if Mantis is out. I fucking know. But they just look at each other, right? Oh, Grace fucking kind of hands off the fucking 5D drive to Tom. And then they all just turn around and look at each other. And they fucking give a little nod like, yeah.
And then walk away.
We're awesome. And then they walk into the mist and they're gone.
Together, or do they do it separately?
Separate.
They do it separate? That's Emotions 11 shit right there.
Yeah, they don't want to be seen.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And that's it, man. And and like I said, in no way, shape, or form, because I think that exact same ending has kind of been done in this fucking franchise. So in no way, shape, or form do I feel like that's an ending to the franchise.
Hey, Pete, does that remind you of any of the endings for any of the other Mission Impossibles off the top of your head? Yeah, that just immediately reminded me of Ocean's 11, the way that ended, where they're looking at the
exact same ending. Dude.
They're looking at the Bellagio and they're all just lined up and they all just look at each other and they walk away one by one.
Yeah.
Oh, Macquarie, you fucking stink. And I was praising you.
This guy has done some great shit.
Yeah,
Rogue Nation's great. Fucking Fallout is the greatest. It's such a fucking great movie.
Yep.
But these last two movies, I can't even fathom, really.
I don't know what you get as a writer, being a very accomplished writer and director. Pete said, I think Mission 4 kind of does that with Renner.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get out of. I'm done. I don't even want to fucking watch our little video package there.
No, you're done with it.
I'm fucking done with it. You didn't. This movie annoyed me via you. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't know how Macquarie is a super accomplished writer and director, and then to come out and say, well, these are just about the action pieces or the action scenes rather than the writing. I think that's a little weak. I don't know. It's kind of a cop out. It seems like you're kind of coasting on the goodwill of the franchise. Yeah. Not saying that he doesn't still have it or whatever, but if you're going to do that, the little bit of dialogue, why make it hokey? Why make it cliche? Why just tie back into, and I kind of get tying back into the franchise itself. It's nice. It's the end of the franchise. At least this phase. Are we done with phase 1? Are we doing a phase 2? What the fuck is going on? So I don't know why you would put all the dialogue or have all the dialogue just be, really cliche and
the delivery of the dialogue.
And it just terrible, man. Like, these are really great actors. And I thought Dead Reckoning, I didn't think Haley Atwell was all that good in it, because like the material that she was given, there was one moment where my wife and I had to pause because we were laughing so fucking hard.
Yes.
They're having a powwow in the beginning of the film, and I think they're maybe getting like a brief of what's going to happen, and they mentioned source code, and it cuts to Luther, and Benji looks over at Luther, and Luther goes like this: source code.
Like
get out. I'm the computer guy. It's like, fuck off, man.
That's my shit.
That amazing actor just to source code. You know, it reminded me of when Jay and Silent Bob visit Ben Affleck in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Yeah, like, here you go to movie poop shoot, and like, this is where people talk shit about movies. And Jay just looks at Bob and goes, poop shoot. Yeah. That's all he got out of that sentence. All I thought about the entire time. Poop shoot. Yeah.
Another thing this movie does, it does the flashback to 5 minutes before in the same movie.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the kill switch or something. And when it gets brought up, they flash back to the scene that just happened 5 minutes before in the movie. And I was just like, I was looking at my family just going, are you kidding? Like, that literally just happened in the movie. Oh my God. It was so brutal.
You can only do that if it's, I can't remember if it was a show or a movie where the character, they're all recounting what happened. A situation that happened.
And they're all different. Yeah.
Hey, that's not how it happened. I'll tell you how it happened. And like, they just recreate it like how we saw.
That would be an amazing Mission Impossible movie, by the way.
Oh, wouldn't that be so good?
Oh my God. You just get all the fucking like Benji's point of view, Ethan's point of view, Luther's point of view. Well, not Luther's dead. God damn it. Grace's point of view. Oh, that'd be fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them, like, they save the day. Always Sunny does an amazing fucking episode like that. Absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, wow, man. Yeah, I would say that Dead Reckoning did not fill me with a lot of excitement for this one. I watched the trailer. Trailer's fine and everything for the Final Reckoning. Let's see, what other questions do I have? Runtime. I mean, I felt there was a ton they could have cut out of fucking Dead Reckoning. That movie is way too long.
Dude, there's double the amount in this movie. It's almost 3 hours. There's no credit scenes or anything like that. So 2 hours and 50 minutes of two big action scenes and all the other fucking fucking flashback nostalgia. Yeah. Remember the other movies. Remember how good these were.
That does seem so ridiculous to have the entire first movie, Dead Reckoning, be about the key. It's all that's important about the key. You got to watch out because there could be fakes, there could be duplicates, there could be this. They only match each other. They're mating keys or whatever.
So listen to this. Another thing in this movie, when the Russians show up in Alaska to bombard the people looking for the coordinates, I think Langley says to him, he says, it doesn't matter if you get the coordinates, you don't have the key. And then he looks at him and he goes, you have another key, don't you? So not only is the key kind of irrelevant about an hour and a half into this movie or whatever, because he gets a module and that's it. Not only that, the Russians have another key. The whole basis of the first movie is ridiculous. Yeah. What does it matter? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Because wouldn't they know that submarine went down? The Russians, I mean they would know that the entity cut off all comms. Like, no one knew where it was. Yeah. It was one of the, remember, I don't remember the very beginning of the movie. No one knew where that sub was. Remember, it was like it was like right in between all these subs and no one could find it because right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh boy. After the credit scene?
No credit scenes. Nothing. Okay. You brought up Haley Atwell, and I rewatched Dead Reckoning before this, and I remember liking her a lot when I first watched it. On my rewatch, oh my God, I fucking despised her character. All she fucking does is try to run away the whole movie, and then at the end, they're like, "Hey, you're a pickpocket. Want to join fucking IMF?" Like, what the fuck?
You will leave and save yourself at the drop of a hat. Do you want to be part of our team? Like, but we're all for each other though.
Yeah.
Like we're
because she finally had a change of heart when Ethan saved her for the fucking 14th time in the movie.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a lot to do in this. Me and Pete were talking about it before I went to see it. I was really hoping Benji and Luther had a lot to do. Luther does not.
Yeah.
Benji has a little bit, right? But he does get shot at the end, so he's kind of useless and all that kind of shit. But
he doesn't die, Benji.
He does not.
He doesn't. Okay.
He has about the same amount to do in this movie as he does in Fallout. Another comparison to Fallout. He has a little fight scene, near the end at Alaska. He does what he's got to do. He gets trapped under a bookcase because he's Benji, right? He doesn't know how to fucking fight. But he's a little bit better than he was in Dead Reckoning. I thought they were fucking criminally fucking underused in Dead Reckoning. Yeah, they were barely in that fucking movie. To kill Luther off so early in this movie too, it just, I don't know, man. He's the dude that's been there from the beginning. He's the only fucking dude in this movie, other than Tom Cruise, that was in the first fucking movie. So I don't know. It sucked.
Oof. Wow. So probably now this could be one movie, right? Do you think they can consolidate this to a tight, quote unquote, tight 3-hour movie?
I do. I really do. Yeah. Yeah. Even with the, there'd be fucking 4 big action set. Well, at least 3 with the train. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if the bike jump's considered a huge action scene. It's just a fucking bike jump. It takes 2 seconds. So the train at the end of Dead Reckoning, the submarine in this, and then the fucking biplane shit at the end. Absolutely, this could have been one 3-hour movie. Absolutely.
How much of your overall rating for this movie has to do with? Well, let me say this: how much did the tying into the franchise, the earlier movies, John Voight, Emilio Estevez, how much did that account for your final rating?
The one I liked the most was the Langley guy. I just thought it was really cool to bring that guy back.
Yeah.
The other shit I didn't really like. The fact that was John Voight's son. I didn't really care about that. The flashbacks and all that shit were tedious, and the flashback, it literally played like it was a trailer for this movie, and it should have been the trailer for this movie. Show all that shit in the trailer. Remind everybody what it took to get here, right? Mm-hmm. Not shit from Dead Reckoning. Show everything. Yeah, that's a trailer, not in the fucking movie. Not during the movie. You don't show us all this shit.
Yeah.
But that Langley shit was really strong for me. I really, really loved that they did that. That's a big, that and the submarine. The submarine action scene were my 2 favorite things in this movie. They're the most contribution to my score. Absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did it seemed like in Dead Reckoning they kind of I think the entity is kind of like the big villain, right? I think it's a pretty decent idea. But I think they confused it way too early on, talking about, well, it's starting to feed on itself and blah, 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 blah. I think that most of your average audience member is not going to know, is not going to have too much of an idea of what AI is and its capabilities and the things that it does. So the fact that it starts eating itself and just kind of replicating around different networks and stuff like that. I don't know how much the average audience will pick up on that. And as you can tell, I can't even really pick up on that all that much either.
And they do a way better job in Dead Reckoning using the AI as a villain than they do in this movie. In this movie, it's almost just kind of like a presence where it's going to do bad shit. But in Dead Reckoning, they have a couple things. They have where it makes Gabriel fucking invisible in the airport, which is really, that's an AI thing.
That airport scene is fucking awesome.
Because also in that same scene, it takes over the fucking walkie from Benji.
It does.
And uses his voice. That's the shit the AI is. It doesn't do any of that shit in this, other than starting to take over the nuclear fucking codes or whatever from these countries. Yeah. Which, by the way, I glossed over this, but the US, right, you have to... every country has to make a choice on to whether or not to take their nuclear weapons offline.
Yeah.
Because if they take them offline, the entity can't get the codes and can't launch them. But because everyone's fucking, the Russians don't want to do it because then they'll be defenseless if fucking China shoots at them. So everyone's doing that, right? So there's a lot of talk in this movie about trying to not do what the entity expects, right? So there's a big scene where the president, Angela Bassett, it comes down to she's either got to fucking launch her fucking missiles at Russia, be taken over by the entity, or fucking go offline. And against all her advisors, once again, she does what nobody expects, and she takes her fucking missiles offline, which kind of it fucks up the entity a little bit. It didn't expect that, right?
Right.
The entity is about it's trying to divide everybody into killing themselves, helping the entity kill themselves off. Right. Yeah. By fucking just allowing these nuclear codes to be available for them to take over. A lot of talk about that, right? A lot of talk about the divide in the world, which is relevant, I guess.
See, but that's interesting though, right? Like you can really hone in on that aspect of it with some Christopher McQuarrie style dialogue, but he's just like, nah, action scenes. That's fun.
Even when he does it, there's 14 people in a fucking row telling the same sentence. Like they're all like, and then when he did this, and there's another person. Yeah. There was nothing left to lose. Like, what the fuck? What? How do you know what he's going to say? What is happening?
So you're Ethan Hunt and they just start talking like that. You're going to be like, all right, first of all, everyone needs to fucking stop. You talk first, and I need you to finish your sentence first.
Oh, it's so cheesy. That was bad. All right.
Also in Dead Reckoning, what I didn't like is how they try to. Well, they always had to give you like a visual representation of the entity.
Yeah.
There was a lot of flashing lights and stuff like that. A lot of different monitors, and it's just so bad. It's just so bad.
When they're in the nightclub and it takes over.
Oh my fucking God.
It starts talking to him and shit. And the entity is another cheesy cheesy plot line. Gabriel declares that the entity's mad at him. It was like he was the entity's proxy basically in Dead Reckoning. Yeah. But when he lost the key to Ethan at the end of the first movie, the entity was like, "Fuck, I'm done with you." And Gabriel is like trying to win back the entity by getting the key back. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man. Oh, it's fucking brutal.
Oh, that's good, man. That's really good.
I know. What's his name? Elias Cortez. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I know him from La Bamba, right? Like he was fucking Valen's brother in La Bamba.
No, you're Isai Morales.
Isai Morales.
Yeah.
I know him from La Bamba, but TJ knows him from Ozark. Yeah. And he's the whole movie, he's so much better in Ozark. Like he's so brutal in this movie.
He is. That's why, like, when I realized that he was the villain in Dead Reckoning, I'm like, oh, this is great because of Ozark. Like he's a fucking he's a true villain in that, man. Yeah. Super scary guy. And it almost seemed like he was kind of confused of like what was going on. He's just like, I know I'm supposed to be evil and shit, but
I will say this: the cheesiest moment in these two movies is still when he fucking looks at his watch and falls off the train and lands on that fucking 8x6 fucking pickup truck right next to the fucking train. One of the stupidest fucking scenes in the entire franchise.
Another moment we had to pause and we weren't laughing. We were just yelling. I was so laughing. My wife was yelling, just going, how the fuck? Like, there has to be so much synchronization happening. Like, how did they? All right.
Okay. So there's nothing that bad in this movie. Nothing that over the top cheesy, but I have no problem in saying to you right now, and I hate to fucking, push you one way or the other, but I dislike this movie more than I dislike Dead Reckoning. Like this is a worse movie for me than Dead Reckoning.
Maybe this will be for your full review of it, but do you want to talk about how it could be better? Or do you want to really think about that and break that down in a bigger show?
I'll just say this to you, and maybe I'll break it down. Yeah. So Pete and I, and we're trying to get Ammon because Ammon apparently loves this movie. So we want to do a fucking 3-way review. No one knows how Pete feels about this. He's going to give a recommendation to you, but we don't know really how he feels about the movie at the end of this episode. Ammon loves it. Obviously, everyone knows how I feel about this. So we're going to fucking battle it out with Pete in the middle. Hopefully that happens soon. But it goes back to what I was hoping was going to happen. I don't know how to make it better. Essentially, like what plot would have been better. I think it's better by literally getting rid of this fucking entity thing at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of it and give us a fucking final mission worthy of this franchise to end it all. They fucking try their hardest to make this worthy. They're like, he's gonna fucking take over the world. Like Ethan's now saving the world again. You know what I mean? But this time he's like Jesus, and everybody knows he's fucking the Messiah, and he's gonna fucking sacrifice everything. And they just make such a big deal out of what he's doing. As an audience member, I just don't fucking care about this plot as much as I do with some of the other shit that maybe are a little bit smaller.
Right. So it had wanted to say Fallout or something like that.
Yeah.
In the last story, that would have made sense.
Oh, that would have been fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Maybe not for the ending of like a whole franchise or the phase or whatever, but they could include some dialogue for that.
The biggest shock of this past week was when we didn't even know. TJ and I didn't even know that McQuarrie directed Fallout. When we found out he directed Fallout, we both sat silent. Like, how is it even possible?
How's that possible? Yeah, exactly.
That he directed that fucking masterpiece of action.
Unbelievable, dude.
And then these two fucking movies. It doesn't even make sense to me at all. I don't know, man. That's it though. I mean, who knows? Maybe this doesn't do as well as it should, and maybe Tom's mad about it, and he comes back in 5 years. You know, he's gonna look the exact same.
Another reckoning.
He's talking now. Did you hear what he's talking about now?
What is he talking about?
With Christopher McQuarrie, he wants to make a full-length movie about his character from fucking Tropic Thunder.
Oh,
no joke. No
really?
joke. Yeah.
Well, fucking 20 years too late. Speaking of 20 years. I mean, people will watch it, right? But like, is it really going to do all that well? I don't know.
Yeah, Jack Black will show up for sure or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, do a fucking 20-minute skit or something like that. Throw on YouTube.
I don't know.
The entire movie.
Eight fucking movies in a row this guy has directed, Tom Cruise. 8 movies. Both Jack Reachers. 4 fucking Mission Impossible movies. The Mummy. Fucking, it's just like, he fucking loves them. He loves them.
Well, he wrote The Mummy.
Wait, he didn't direct it? Oh, he didn't?
And he wrote the second Jack Reacher.
Oh, God. This guy, he fucking loves him so much.
Oh, he only produced the second Jack Reacher. And he wrote Maverick.
Maverick, yeah.
Wrote Edge of Tomorrow.
This guy loves Tom Cruise so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're fucking the besties of besties.
They love hanging out with each other.
Even when like their movie stinks, like The Mummy, like they don't even care. They just fucking drink and they're like, whatever, fucking, let's make another one.
Yeah, they lie to each other.
Yeah,
about how great the movie was.
That was fucking amazing. I don't care what the critics.
Fucking 14% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Another fucking big airplane scene in fucking The Mummy. Like they're fucking obsessed with this shit.
They love it.
Oh,
they love it. All right, should we bring Peter on?
All right, Peter. Before our review, don't spoil anything of how you feel. I just want you to. I want to know if you think Alex should spend 3 hours of his time and spend his hard-earned cash and go see Final Reckoning.
Nah.